Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. I have an amazing video for you guys today. We are going to be talking about the housing market in the Pacific Northwest. Now here is an article from the Seattle Times. I will have a link to this article down in the description below, but here it goes. It starts. Housing shortage has spread across the Pacific Northwest, new study shows. Now let me read a little bit and we'll kind of jump into the analysis. There simply aren't enough homes in the Seattle area. It's a long-standing problem here, and it's in other major coastal cities. But now, a new report finds that this problem has spread to parts of the country where, until recently, housing was more abundant and affordable. Even in America's interior and in the Northwest, it's not just an issue in the Seattle, Portland areas. Okay, so look, everybody knows that right here, Seattle is a hotspot, right? It's beautiful city, very expensive, okay, very, very expensive. Portland, also beautiful city, also has been getting very expensive. A lot of people from California love moving to Portland and Seattle. And right here we also have Boise. So here's the thing, we expect Seattle and Portland to have high prices, but when you think about moving to Oregon, you would never think about Bend, Eugene, some of these little cities being very expensive and having a housing crisis, because again, these are like very small towns. But that is literally what we're seeing. We're seeing housing shortages, and when you see housing shortages, what ends up happening when you have low supply and high demand, price tends to go up a lot, right? So check out this statistic. A shortage of housing worsened from 2012 to 2019 in nearly all of the 16 metro areas in Washington, Oregon, and Idaho. 5 of these metros had surplus of housing in 2012, which had vanished by 2019. This is the thing. A lot of people are leaving the big cities, going to these smaller areas. Now look at the housing, look how much we have a surplus, and look how much we have a shortage. The lighter blue is 2012, the darker blue is 2019. So, when you look at like Bend, Oregon, right? In 2012, it had a surplus. So what happens when you have a surplus is basically, this is what makes the prices go down. When you have a shortage, this is what makes the prices go up. Now that is a huge disparity right here. This is what basically prices people out of the community, because now when the prices go up this rapidly, right, there's not enough supply, it keeps the prices elevated. Nobody wants to sell their house, everybody's scared, and we don't have enough builders, and that's a huge problem. When we don't have enough builders, we end up basically it kind of kills the housing market, because what we need is more supply. We need more houses so more people can jump in and buy a house and take advantage of the American dream. But when we have housing shortages like this, it makes it very, very hard, right? These are all small cities that you would never in a million years think that they would have housing shortages, but it is happening across the United States. The Northwest's worst housing deficit was in Salem, Oregon. According to the report, Salem needed 13,000 more housing units than it had in 2019, little more than 10% of its total existing housing stock market of 126,000 units. The Seattle metro area, the report estimated a shortage of around 81,000 units in 2019 and up from 41,000 in 2012. The 81,000 unit pencils out to about 5% of 1.6 million existing units in our metro area, meaning we had a 5% shortage. 5% shortage. So in 2012, it was less than 3%. So like I said, as we continue to see housing shortages, okay, and if we jump into the Seattle area, just so you guys could see, right here, Seattle, Washington. When we look at new listings, right now, okay, so we are somewhat in line with 2019. Blue is 2019, black is 2022, but it's going down. Supply is actually going down. And if you look at the new listing price, it is why the prices are staying this high. But remember, in 2019, the average house in Washington, Seattle area was $544, and it has jumped all the way to almost $800,000. So this right here is almost like a fake, not a fake, it's real, but But the problem is that because the supply is so tight, it's keeping these prices elevated, and these prices really need to come down to these 2019 levels. And I've heard that they should even be below 2019 levels. If we look at the median sale price, here's where we get we can catch our breath a little bit. Here's where we definitely are seeing the prices drop. So basically, people can list it at whatever they want, but at the end of the day, it's what people are actually buying. It's the sales that are actually going through. But what worries me about this area is that, you know, we have less, our supply is just not there, right? And like I said, in order for the prices to really go down and for this market to really slow down and crash and make it affordable for most of us to be able to buy a house, this needs to crash pretty hard. So we need more supply. We need a lot more supply. And I think we're going to start seeing that in the next year. In next year or 2 years. Now remember, if you're a buyer, the best thing you could do right now is hold your breath, because things are going to start looking really, really attractive. It's not gonna happen tomorrow, but it is gonna start happening in the next few months. But the longer you wait, I think the better deal you are going to have. Now, if we look at the rates right now, you know, this is 2021 right here. From this line here, this is 2021, this is 2022. You can see we had insane record low mortgage rates. And then the rates started creeping up at the beginning of the year. We did see a frenzy of buying around this area, but look how high they went up, and now they've cooled off. I think the banks are basically taking less profits right now because the Feds did raise the rates kind of high. But all this jump right here basically stopped all new mortgage applications, and the banks pretty much got freaked out. So we're seeing definitely a pullback in many areas. If we jump to the recession risk, and if you live in any of these red dots, your market is probably going to have a nice downturn, right? If you live in these blue areas, most likely the prices are gonna stay pretty solid. But in some of these blue areas, though, remember, the prices did not go up as high as some of these red areas. You could tell that the red areas are all in areas where there's really nice weather. A lot of the blue areas, unfortunately, are areas where, you know, it's hard to live, especially those winter months. They're tough, and summers are kind of tough there too. There's a lot of rain and a lot of storms and stuff like that. So, moral of the story, I definitely believe that if you are if you want to sell a house, I think right now your window is getting smaller and smaller if you want to get these record high prices, because again, it is gonna start coming down. If you're a buyer, the best thing you could do right now is sit and wait and just save a little bit more money, get more money down in that down payment, because it's gonna make everything a lot easier. Like I've said in many videos, the best situation that you could probably have, now you don't need to have this, but the best optimum situation, which is something that I encourage, is to have at least 20% down and have a W-2 job of at least 2 years. This is gonna allow you to get the best mortgage rates, and it's going to, putting that 20% down is gonna keep you from having to purchase PMI insurance. Now, some people don't care about the PMI insurance, but it is, you know, extra money that you have to throw away every month that basically goes nowhere, that you could better spend it doing something else. Now, I have heard the argument that paying PMI insurance is still better than not owning a house. I do agree with that, but my job here is to just give you the best situation for yourself. Best situation is really to be able to put down 20%. That's the best situation. Now, I know it's incredibly difficult to do that, and I get it, but I'm just trying to tell you, you know, basically how I sort of see it, right? It's gonna put you in the best track for success. But yeah, you could definitely put down, you know, I think as low as 3.5% or something like that. But you know, PMI can really get you. Okay, so I want to just say before I end this video, huge thank you to everybody that's been supporting my channel. Look how many views I've been getting. I know it's not a lot to like some of these super famous YouTubers. But look, this video right here got 1,200 views, got a bunch of subs, got a bunch of likes and comments. So yeah, you guys have really been supporting me. As you could see, it's right here, and I'm just getting a lot of positive feedback. So I want to just say thank you guys. Thank you guys so much for watching my videos, subscribing and liking and commenting. It really does mean a lot to me. Now, if you are not subscribed and you do like these videos or this video, don't forget to smash that subscribe button and go ahead and like and leave a comment. Again, thank you guys so much for watching. I love you guys, and I'll see you on the next video.